Hello and welcome to my creative space. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Welcome to another DIY video. If you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe and join this creative squad. I cannot tell you how much I miss you, how much I miss crafting. I am back with another video and this one is a fun one, so stay tuned and let's get started. For this project, I'm using this Dollar Tree ring wreaths that I picked up the other day. I'm only going to be using two and I'm going to use these little greenery fall decor pieces as well as these stamps. I'm also going to use Dollar Tree ribbon. Okay, I'm going to start by taking apart the greenery or whatever you want to call this, and I'm going to split all of these, take them apart. Here I am. Now I'm going to take these black stamps. I picked them up from Dollar Tree. I need 2 pairs of 2, so I'm going to divide it in 2 and then cut those in half, and here they are. Okay, now I'm going to grab these Dollar Tree tights and I'm going to take the first bunch of the little stamps and I'm going to place half on each side. Now I'm taking these other greenery pieces and I'm going to divide them. I'm going to set them on top of the black stamps, and I'm just gonna divide the little wheat or whatever that is called, and then once I am happy with how it's looking on each side, I'm going to tie it with these little ties from Dollar Tree. Don't worry about it because we're gonna cover those up and you won't even know that they're there. Okay, this is what it looks like. Now I turned it around and I'm going to reinforce with some hot glue just to make sure that nothing's gonna move, and you could skip that step, but you know, I wanted to go extra and secure it. Now I'm going to place these other stamps and 2 on each side, and I love how it's looking. Now I decided to use the black and white ribbon, and I'm going to start tying it around. I go the first round and cover the first little tied, and then I cover the second one, and then I'm just going to make a little simple bow. These wreaths are so easy and so simple, but I love how they turned out. Now I'm going to cut the ends of these little pieces of ribbon and I'm going to dovetail them, and here we are. Now I created the second one off camera, and here is the end result. These look so high-end, so pretty. I'm in love with them. Creative Squad, today we have a collab and it's a September fall collab. Jelena from Blondie Next Door, she reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to participate in this collab with her and 2 other very talented ladies. We have Anna from Anna Bradley DIY and Kim from KTB Creates. I am so happy and so honored that she decided to invite me to join in this collab. I couldn't be more happy to be back and making videos and DIYs for you guys. And what best thing that it is fall and Christmas are usually my favorite seasons, and I am so happy and so excited to show you the rest of these DIYs. Be sure to check out the playlist below to get to the videos. You got to watch them. They are incredible and talented ladies. Thank you so much, Jelena. Now let's jump back into the video. For this project, I'm using 3 little signs from Dollar Tree, these little pumpkins, these leaves, as well as some Spanish moss. I'm also going to be using some floral foam, and last, these dry little stamps. Now, I'm going to start with the little pumpkins. I'm going to remove the clips and replace them with these bamboo sticks. I'm also removing the top stem on them. Now it's time to paint these little pumpkins, and this is the reason why I added the bamboo stick, because it's easier to grab and easier to fully cover this pumpkin. I gave this little pumpkin 2 coats of paint and then I sat it on top of this little floral foam for them to dry. Now I'm taking the Dollar Tree long signs and I'm going to remove the wrapping first. Once that is done, I'm going to use some hot glue and I'm going to glue these 3 little signs. once everything is glued, it looks like a crate, but it's a taller crate, and I love it. Now here I am gluing the very last one. Just make sure everything is even. Now I'm taking the green floral foam from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut it in 4 pieces. I'm going to use this to glue it inside of my little box. Here I am adding some hot glue. I'm gonna add the 2 ends, and then for the 2 middle parts, I'm just going to trim what I don't need because of that little piece in there. And now it fits. Now the 2 little pieces left over, I'm gonna squish them in that little piece that was left empty. Now I'm gonna take my spinach moss and I'm going to add it into my soon to be little box, and I'm going to glue it just to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. I don't add a lot of glue because I want to be able to add my florals in there as well. Here is what is looking so easy and simple. Okay, now it's time to take these leaves and I'm going to take them apart. I'm also taking this dry other little stamps. I'm also cutting them to smaller pieces. That way everything is even. I don't end up using all of it. I do put the longer piece to the side. But here I am cutting all of them, and now it's time to start decorating this a little centerpiece. It could be a centerpiece or just, you know, decor. I just add the leaves wherever I think I want them, and then I'll go in with the drier little stamps and I just randomly place them in there. And here is what it's looking like. You know, whatever you don't like, place it somewhere else, and it's whatever you like. And here are my little pumpkins. Now they are dried. I'm replacing the bamboo stick for these little floral stems because they're darker and they're gonna match the stems from these other leaves. That's why I did that. You don't have to do that, but that's what I decided to do. Okay, so I use my Cricut machine and some vinyl to cut the word fall. You don't have to do that. You can do it with stickers if you have some at home, but this is what I end up doing for mine. Now it's time to place them inside this little box, and here is the end result. I love how this little piece turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. For this project, I'm using this canvas, some more florals, this scrap of wood, some white paint, and the word thankful. Now, I'm going to start by removing the canvas sheet or whatever that is called off of this frame, and this canvas came from Dollar Tree. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I used it in my last video and now I'm repurposing it. Okay, once I remove everything, this is what it looks like, and it looks amazing on the inside. I was so happy that this looked this way because it kind of looks like a window. But anyway, I'm going to remove the staples that this little piece had in the corners because I don't like them. Now, I'm taking my acrylic white paint and I decided to paint this frame completely white. You could stain it, you could paint it a different color, you could leave it the way it is. I decided to go with white paint. Once it's dried, the next step, I forgot to record it. I am so sorry. But essentially what I did is grab the scrap of wood I showed you in the beginning. I grabbed these clips and I am holding them into place because I am going to be creating a shelf. And I drilled some holes. Now I'm going to be screwing these into place. And once I remove the clips, this is what it looks like. It looks amazing. I love it. Now I'm going to grab the word thankful and I'm going to remove the hanger off of this because we're not gonna need it. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but once I started painting it, I was like, you know what, I think I want to distress it. And as you can see, the T, I almost painted it completely. I go in and I'm like, oh no, that's not what I want to do. So I remove the paint what I can, and then I continue to distress this thankful word, and then I go around the edges. I am just going in with some paint. I love how this is looking, but I did mess up, so I have to go back in there with a sanding sponge and I try to remove as much as I can. And once I think that I remove enough, I go back in there with some white paint just to kind of distress it a little more and make it look nicer. This is what I'm doing. I like it this way. Now we're gonna let it dry. Okay, now we're taking some more greenery. Yay! Some more leaves, and I'm taking them apart. Now this little stem has five little pieces, so I remove one of them off of them and I add it to the other one so I can have two on each side and they can be even. And as you can see, now I am going to grab the two stems and I'm going to add some hot glue and glue them together to make sure they don't move. Now I split the other little wheat pieces and I am going to be placing them on there as well. And I created two little bunches. I grabbed the little black ties and I tied the first one together, and once it's tied enough, I cut off what I don't need. And here's the first little bunch. Now I do the second one off camera. Here they are. Now I am going to remove what is at the bottom because I don't want that to be peeking through, and I am trying to play with this and see where I want this at, and I tried different places. This is what I like best, so I'm going to go ahead and glue it with some hot glue, both little sides. Now it's time to hang this into our frame. And I'm using some twine rope. Once I decide how long I need these to be, I cut them off and then I create knots on the end. That is so when we go to hang it, we can staple it into place and it's not gonna go anywhere. Now here is my stapler. I push in it. I was afraid that it was gonna go through the whole thing, but it didn't. Thank God, we were safe. And now I turn it around. Now I am going to staple it onto the frame. Here it is, and let me tell you, I absolutely love how this project turned out. And here it is, the end result. I am absolutely in love with this project. This has to be my favorite one, but you let me know in the comments down below which one was your favorite DIY in this video. What are your fall colors this year? As you can see, mine are going to be neutral and I'm in love with that idea. I have missed you so much. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you on my next DIY. Bye!